Yeah, bang bang rail. My boy, years and years and years ago, yeah, had a car accident and went from the front seat to the back seat, threw out the back window, and hit his head on a big stone wall. A little gash, cut of 3 inches, and brain dead, and nearly died. Yeah, and then he pulled through, paralysed for ages. Wheelchairs, 10 years and bits and pieces. And now, he's got his life back together again. He's just had a baby and everything is sweet, yeah. The other day, I got a phone call from a very good friend of mine, Gary Stretch. I haven't heard about him from a long time. I know him for quite some time, it happens. And how are you, mate? He nearly died. I can't believe it, mate. It's mad the way life is, like one thing all your life you'll be doing mad things, and boxing. My son boxing, getting hit across the head, hit on the chin, being knocked out or whatever it is, sparring 30, 40, 50 rounds a week or a month or whatever, and getting hit by every Tom, Dick and Harry. So much that goes on in your life as a fighter, even as a normal person having a fight in the street, getting hit across with an iron bar, something stupid and everything sweet. And all of a sudden, one day, something stupid happens. Gary Stretch goes back to where he lives, and he's gone into the back garden. There's snow, it's really thick, and there's all leaves on the stairs to the fountain, yeah? So what he thinks he'd do, he'd get a broom and sweep it all off, which is, so he gets a broom, sweeps it all off, and slips. He slips, falls back, hits his head on the fountain. The next thing he finds out is he's in hospital, in bed, and he can't move. And what they say is that when I went out in the garden, about 4 hours later, there he is in a big pool of blood. Uh, Blood everywhere, it's all running down, the snow is pouring out of his head, and he's nearly died. Mad, he goes to hospital, um, and he was in a coma for ages, like my son. That's my son, but not as long as my son. But he's in a coma for ages. All of a sudden, being Gary's very strong anyway, all the fights he's had, bits and pieces, being banged on the chin and all that, he comes round, but he can't move. He can't talk. He can't say a thing. He's telling me that when they come and got him out of the garden, and when he banged his head about 4 or 5 hours later, they come in the garden and his eyes are wide open and he can't believe what's going on. And he can't talk. He can't talk. He just can't move. He's just looking. He can't talk. He can't say a word. Yeah, he's paralysed everywhere. All the whole body is paralysed. So when they rush him to hospital, and they find out that something's gone on in his head, and it's done a nerve and this, that, and the other, and he's paralysed. And they put big braces around his neck, and they have to, make him wee and all this, and poo and all that. It's madness, you know. And days and days and days they tell him, look, you might not be able to walk. You might not ever be able to walk again. You might even not even be able to hold a cup. I mean, how can you tell someone like that who's been fighting all his life, and he's a champion. He's had so many fights. He's been the top of everything. You know what I mean? How can he tell someone like that? Such a good-looking guy. Let you say, my son, it's good-looking people that you can't not going to walk again. It's a miracle that you're even talking. And I thought to myself, when he's telling me this, I thought to myself, well, at least you're talking now, girl. And I can't believe it. It's like, I thought it was a joke at first. All of a sudden he's gone, no, no, mate. He said, and then he went on WhatsApp, to talk to me. And I thought, when I see him, a big brace around his neck, and he can't move, mate. And he can't move. And they said that he won't be able to walk for ages. But being Gary the way Gary is, He's very determined, very strong, yeah? He's a very strong person. He's telling me that the grip on his hands, he can't grip. He can't pulse his hands together and feel the power in his hands, yeah? He can't, he's just about can hold a knife and fork. That's how bad it is, yeah? And they told him that, he's got to take it easy. He mustn't try to walk. And being stubborn, he just got on and started walking a bit, and it was so painful, you know what I mean? And when he was laying in bed, you could see that his jaw, it's finding it hard to talk, yeah? And I went, I can't believe it, man. I think, wow, it's unbelievable that 1 minute me and him are talking, and weeks later, crash, he goes out in the garden, sweeps from leaves, slips over, bangs his head, bump, freezing cold. They reckon the cold saved his life. Don't know why, but they're saying the cold saved his life. Whether it congealed the blood or whatever it did, but blood was pouring out of his head, and it must have stopped it. I don't know, but he was in a bad. I mean, really, really bad way. Yeah, and now he phoned me the other day. I was saying that, and I couldn't believe it, mate. And he showed me that all he's got his braces all around his neck. He can't really eat properly. He can't drink properly. Everything's in a straw. Got very hard to eat. I thought, wow, man. I'm going to phone him up later to find out how he is. It's a shock. He's just telling me, Ray, like your life can flash by in seconds. You know what I mean? In seconds, you can walk out, get a bump on the head, and that's it. It changes. You can slip over in a puddle, on the mud, walking up the hill, fall over, hit your head, crash. And I thought to myself, wow, man, it's like, and it is that easy, yeah? I mean, my son's thing wasn't that easy because he had a car accident, yeah? And he went from the front of the seat where he was sitting through the back screen, out the back screen, hit a big stone wall, and had about a 3-inch gash on his head, and his arms all smashed up. But yeah, and he died 3 times. And when I see him, it was like all machines all over him and everything, and it was like you can't believe it, mate. You think, no, that can't be my son. That can't be my son, yeah. But my son is like his dad, He's very, very strong, very powerful, and he's a fighter, my boy, And that's what all us hills are, yeah, fighters. And I can remember a time. It's like a story that I can do on my YouTube, which I more likely will do. I don't know. I'll say it now, actually, that a long time ago, I was going to meet some people. We did meet, actually. We meet some Arabic geezers over Western Avenue, down this little road. And I was with a big African guy. And evidently the African guys can have a go at these Arabic guys because they tried to tuck him up or something, yeah? So we was down the road, no one turned up. And, what's going on, anyway. Also, I see a guy, and I said, that must be, he looks like one of the guys that I've seen, yeah? Is he checking us out, And also he walked back, and before you know where you are, from Western Avenue, from wherever it was, Uxbridge Road or wherever it was, they come in everywhere. Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Range Rovers, everything. About 30, maybe 20, 30 Arabic guys jumped out of the motor, all knife fighters, all, all sorts of people jumped out, and you've got somebody like big iron bars, bats, and everything. The African, he was talking to one of them, and the other said, right, with a row, and the African pooed himself and ran. And they're all running after the African, yeah? Me, I'm just, the guys like me, you know what I mean? And I thought, as I'm walking, I'm saying, like, come on, my mate, this African guy's gone, he's left me, he's gone. As I'm walking, the guys come behind me and hit me with an iron bar. And it, it was a joke. It was a joke across the back of the neck, or back of the head actually. And it a little cut, 3 or 4 inches. A part of the hospital was just round the corner. And they took me to the hospital and this, that, and the other. And the African's in there. He's done something to when he climbed over something. He's in there having stitches. I'm having stitches. And I thought to myself, Gary Stretch just said he fell over, bumped his head, and unconscious, and that happened to him, my son. And look at me, he got a great big iron bar across the head, whacked right across the back of the neck, and nothing. And nothing, whether or not it's a later thing, I don't know, but nothing. Even when I was, not so long ago, I was in Harrow, yeah? And these kids attacked this young girl, and I stopped it, and I got hit across the head with another bar, an iron bar or something, hit me across the head. And I think to myself, why can't that happen to me rather than my son? Why can't my son be normal, yeah? Normal again, and this, that, and the other. He's got, and I thought to myself, my son's got one side of his body is higher than the other. A lot of muscle tone he gets, my boy. Yeah, he was having loads of fits, but all of a sudden it's all gone, and he's just had a baby, and he'd be a fantastic dad, why can't it happen to me? Why can't I be the one that happened to rather than my son? It seems to me, and why? I'm not saying Gary Stretch is different kettle of fish. He's not my blood, but my boy's my blood, and I'd rather it happen to me what happened to him, and him be okay. The only thing it's done for my boy that he got a great big lot of money for the accident and what happened in the car and bits and pieces. So he's comfortable, he's very comfortable in his life now. He's bought properties, he's got this, he's got that, he's done really, really well, yeah. He hasn't flushed his money about, he's done really good with it. His daughter, his sister Jamie has helped him, she's helped him do this and do that, got properties and this, that and the other, so he's done quite well for his life now, and his little girls gonna have a good life, Anyway, and Gary Stretch, I mean, I can't believe it's like, when he told me, I went, don't muck about, mate. And I thought, all the fights that he's had in the ring, all the times he's being hit on the chin, sparring or whatever, the fights he's had, and in the amount of times he's been hit around the head, all around the head region, nothing has ever happened to him. A lot of these, like Muhammad Ali, Clay, look at the way he went, they all go, don't they, and Gary Stretch, and I thought to myself, wow, Gal, I just can't believe it. He shook me up. He's a soldier, Gary Stretch. He is a good, powerful soldier, Gary Stretch. He's got a good mindset, mate, and he's going to fight it. And he would would do really well. He would come back to life again, yeah. But at the minute, he's finding it very hard to walk. His talk's okay. After a while, it gets a bit hard for him, yeah. Gripping something is quite hard, but I can imagine going. It won't take him long. He shouldn't be. They tell him he's not to walk, and yet he started walking, yeah. He's that sort of guy, even though he suffered, it was hard for him, yeah? Because after he'd done it, yeah, he had to sit down or lay down or what he did, and then the pain started on his legs. Your brain's a funny thing, mate, isn't it? It's crazy, man. That thing up there, and one bump, one hit at the wrong place, and that's it, mate, all over. It's all over, you know what I mean? That's why people get concussed. When they get hit on the chin, you get a lot of them get concussed, that little clip, it's mad. But I wish Gary Stretch all the best in the world. I hope he gets better very soon. My son, he's bettered his life. I mean, it's a terrible thing to say this, but that accident my son had, yeah, is brought him back to life in a way. It's given him everything. It took it away from him, yeah, and then give him so much. He took his life from him. No one would ever think that he'd be able to go through what he did. he had the best mother in the world. That she stuck by him. She changed his pants. Done everything. And he's a big man, yeah. She changed everything. She just looked after my boy so well, yeah. And without his mum, I doubt very much if he'd have pulled through it. But he pulled through everything. And now, as I say, he's got a family. Just had a little girl. And he's got properties. And what was took from him, someone is now giving back something better. I know it's a terrible thing to say, but I think it's done him that little bit they took from my boy. What they're giving back is more than he'll ever get, yeah. And now he's bettered his life. That little girl will have a better life, and he's had a better life. Even though my son has pulled round 150%, yeah. He can walk, he hobbles along, but he walks miles, my boy. He's very, very strong, very powerful, yeah. A very, very powerful boy. And, what really, really hurt me was the fact that I was an IPP. And my boy, when he had the accident, and I come home after the accident, this, that, and the other, my boy used to go to the local pub and have a little drink in Marlow. And this kid attacked my son. My son was the governor around there, my boy. He was, he was going to be a fantastic fighter. He knocks out men when he was 15, 16 on doors and all that. He's just like his dad. He can have a right fight. He walks into the pub, hobbling, and one of the kids in there that my boy was just jumped on my boy's back and bashed my boy up. And I thought to myself, he told me I want to go back in the pub. I want to get in that pub and get hold of this kid and let him know what it's all about. But it's awkward for me. I'd got a recall and everything, so I left it, yeah. And since I left it, it's the greatest thing I ever did. The boys apologised to my son and everything. It's like it's mad, isn't it? And I'm just gutted. I'm gutted that there's nothing I can do for my boy because now he's got everything he wants. I left my boy whilst I was in prison, all my kids. So me being away for such a long time, all my life mostly in prison, my kids don't know their dad. There's no memories of me with them as such, yeah. So it's a shame. But that's what life can do. Prison can take that from you, yeah. So that's the worst part about prison. We all go out there to earn some money for our families or whatever, and we get put away in prison, and then we lose everything. To lose 26, 36 years of your life, and to lose that and lose your kids. So my kids don't know they're dead. They know me. Of course they know me as Ray Hill, but now they know me as Ray Bang Bang Hill, and it's like a big thing on YouTube and my book and all this, that and the other. But why can't I have my kids back? I want my kids back. Man, I want my kids back, man. I want to be able to, how can I say? I want to be able to call my kids and get them together, and all sit around and talk as a family. My boys, I've got 3 boys, Actually, I've got 4 boys, and I've got a daughter, you know what I mean? And it's, come on, why can't I put them somewhere in a restaurant and come in and talk to them? You know what I mean? My boy Jay. My boy Jay is the biggest of them all. Obviously the accident, and then I've got my Sonny. Them two. I've got Ricky. There's another boy there. I've also known his name's Ricky as well, and my daughter Jamie. Come on, I'd love to see my boys. One of my boys, Sonny, he's in Australia. He wants to kill his dad. You know what I mean? For me letting him down as I have done. So he's blamed me for everything that I've ever done in my life. He blames me. So he's right against me, you know what I mean? He still loves his dad, but he's against me, for leaving him all these years. I mean, come on, I've not given me I'm not giving me and my boy Jay. I'm not giving me and Ricky. I'm not giving me and my other Ricky. I'm not giving me and my Jamie. My name, that's all I'll give them. But come on. Anyway, I could go on for hours really about things like that. But I'm just, I'm gutted about Gary Stretch. I'm gutted about that he nearly died. It was like a stone throw away from dying. They saved his life at the hospital. If he had, they're saying that if he hadn't have, if they hadn't come out of the garden when they did, he'd have died. 30 minutes later, he'd have been dead. But the cold saved his life for that 3 or 4 hours he was in the garden. Knocked out, mate. Anyway, bang, bang, whale. Please press the like button and subscribe. Yeah, nice one. Bye.